murder and everything else. My name is Joy.
And my name is Cheryl, and Joy and I are two very old friends who are going to discuss murder and everything else.
Cheryl,
Joy.
listen to what I did today.
Okay.
I took my girls out. It's been a while. The holidays are well past. I have not taken the old credit card out for a romp around town for a while because, after the holidays, you have to let the dust settle. And
Oh,
by
yeah.
dust settle, I mean you have to not pull that card out for a good month to 6 weeks because it's probably going to be rejected. But anyway, we went out, we did a little shopping, we had a little luncheon, and it was a rainy day and it's Super Bowl Sunday, so it wasn't too crazy out and about, because remember, there's two things that happen here. One is church. So the stores and restaurants don't usually get crazy until after the after church crowd on Sunday. And then the second thing is Super Bowl Sunday. So everybody's at home making their buffalo ranch dip and their like deep fried pickles. So I knew that it was a really good idea to head out on a Super Bowl
Mm-hmm.
Sunday and a rainy
Yep.
day on top of it. So it was like a triple whammy. So we went to a bunch of stores, at least 4. And one of the stores we went to was DSW. And for those of you living under a rock who are listening to this, that's where they sell shoes.
What does it
And
stand for? Discount shoe something. Oh, discount shoe
warehouse,
warehouse?
I don't know.
Yee. Anyway,
It
would make
should it
sense because it's
should
discount shoes.
it should stand for that shoes is wild.
Oh.
Or that shoes I want it.
Except there's no I in there. But
Or
nice try.
dish shoes for me. Anyway, I usually okay, I usually have really good luck at DSW, but and don't get me wrong, there was really really cute stuff. Really cute like boots because remember, it's February. It's halfway through February now and well, when we're recording this, it's halfway through February. But by the time you listen, it's going to be probably March. But, you know, winter is winding down. So everyone's getting their dogs like uncrusted for summer and for sandal season. So this is the perfect time to run out there and snatch up a pair of boots or 2 pairs of
Did you find
boots.
any?
Oh, yeah, but I'm probably gonna have to go back. But I didn't buy any today, and that is the exciting thing that happened today is I didn't buy any boots or shoes.
Oh,
So I
interesting.
felt yeah, I felt like what, I felt kinda like what, I don't know, a drinker must feel like when they decide to give up drinking and they're, like, walking past a liquor store and they make it pass without nipping in to buy a bottle of something. I just felt really good, like, "Wow, look at that. I tried on, like, 4,500 pairs of shoes." I have to try on a lot of shoes when I go to a shoe store. And then afterwards, we went to Chipotle and we had lunch, and I don't know if are you a Chipotle fan?
I am, except that I don't like that they don't include chips. That you got to
I
pay for
know.
it separately, which is just a
I
crime.
know. Well, remember they used to have a salsa bar? They got rid of the salsa bar too. And
I
now they only have 3 options. They have like the corn, the pico de gallo, they have a green salsa, and they have a red salsa. But I did something today at Chipotle that I've never done before, and that is I had them give me black beans and pinto beans and
Oh,
mix up the beans. It's a game changer. And then my kid did something that I've never done before, but I'm going to try it next time. She had them put the queso on top of the Chipotle bowl, burrito bowl. So it's like got that Velveeta cheesy creamy flavor. So that was
mm-hmm.
kind of fun. Anyway,
Oh,
I don't enjoy Chipotle all the time, and I probably haven't eaten there for 2 or 3 years, but for some reason today, it was just, like, working for me,
it
and,
hit the spot. Sometimes
yeah,
stuff just hits the spot.
and you know what, my youngest daughter says when instead of hits the spot, she says it slaps. So she
Okay.
goes so I go, "That queso's good." She goes, "The queso slaps." And I was all, "Oh, I gotta remember that
Is that
one."
what they say now? It
Yeah, so
sounds a little bit dirty.
if it's good, it slaps. It
Okay.
sounds dirty. It
It
sounds
does.
it
I don't
I
think.
didn't think about that, but now that you say that, maybe it does. Anyhow.
Yeah, I'm not going to be
Um,
using that one.
on that note, just a quick disclaimer. This is not for kids, although this week we are not going to be focusing on murder per se, so maybe
Yes.
kids would really
Well,
enjoy this.
no.
But
No,
we might
this is not
we
for
might say
kids.
yeah, we might say bad
It's not for
words.
kids.
Anyway, rolling on to updates. One of the updates that I'd like to just put out there is if anyone who's listening in our listening world and podcast listening world out there wants to hype us up or shout us out on their social media or collab with us, we would be interested in doing that. So we would boost your product, topic, or company in return for you hyping us up. Um, because my 2024 resolution, besides the hair thing that was a huge fail, because I am still washing my hair every day, is that I want to grow this podcast. So if any of our listeners out there have any ideas on great ways to grow this podcast, double, triple our listening numbers, so that we can bring ads back, reach out and let me know. Because me telling you to tell 200 of your best friends and family about it is not working. All right. Cheryl, do you have any updates?
Wow. Okay. Yes, I do, you guys. So if you've listened to our OnlyFans murder about Courtney Clenny stabbing her boyfriend, Christian Obumseli, her parents, Deborah Clenny, 57, and her mother, Deborah Clenny, 57, and her father, Kim Clenny, 60, were arrested in Texas and extradited to Miami, Florida. The couple is charged with one count each of unauthorized access of a computer system, or electronic device of Christian Obumseli. So we will stay tuned for that. So, all you parents out there of people that might be committing a crime, you got to watch out because parents are starting to get arrested.
Mm-hmm. You heard it here. And also, Cheryl, I just want to say that some of our super fans have gotten texts from me and some other listeners out there in podcast listening world, because I'm just going to tease that we're probably going to do a case podcast soon on one of these like school shootings. And I've been asking a lot of questions just to get people's opinions, differing opinions and different takes on what people think of, you know, holding parents responsible for children's behaviors, children's
Hmm.
outbursts, children's shooting sprees. So, anyway, just teasing some of the things that we're working on. But anyway,
Yeah,
uh,
stay tuned.
yeah, do you have any shout outs today, Cheryl?
I just have to say, I have to give a shout out to technology. I know sometimes that I really hate it, but hey, if it weren't for technology, we wouldn't have this podcast. But I do have to say, oftentimes I have a love hate relationship with it. But what I do love is that I canceled XM satellite radio, and it's no like criticism on them. I've had it for years and they've been great, but now you can just listen from your phone on Apple CarPlay. So
No,
that's
but
one
you have
less
to have an
expense.
Apple. You have to have an Apple phone in order to do that.
Well, I'm trying to convince my two friends who don't have Apple to come over to the, I don't know, guess you
Dark
would
side.
call it the dark side. Oh,
Well, I
if only for the fact that you could see all my emojis and stuff, because sometimes I don't think you can see them. And how will you know
well,
what emotion I have if you can't see my emojis?
I love my Google Pixel 7. I got to
All
tell you.
right. Write in if you
Anywho,
have strong feelings about androids.
that's right.
Either
Hey,
way, for or
write
against.
in if you have strong feelings about anything.
Just write in.
I have a shout out for Susan, who brought a huge bin of treats for Lunar New Year. Thank you, Susan. She brought sweet treats. She brought crispy treats. She brought durian cakes. She brought all kinds of
Durian
like,
cakes.
yeah, she
Durian
brought
from the
these,
durian fruit?
yeah, they tasted
Oh.
like Funyuns. She brought, it was like sugar covered Funyun cakes.
Oh,
She
okay.
brought like these super weird, like snot flavored, like gummy things that you peel off and it's like in a little jelly and you're supposed to like, I guess, shoot it, just drink it down. But it's like slimy and kind of like viscous in consistency.
Yeah, it sounds
I,
delicious.
anyway, thank you, Susan. The fun part was like ripping into all the packages and trying everything, but she brought it in this huge plastic bowl that any Asian person is going to take one look at that and go, I'm going to use that to make kimchi. It was like one of those big ones that you could have bathed a child in. And like you could bathe your dogs in it, Cheryl. That's how big it was. But
Mm.
it's perfect for making kimchi. So anyway, oh, and she brought this little, the little lucky like cat for Lunar New Year.
Hmm.
It's so cute. And she brought chopsticks. Anyway, it was so fun. And yeah, we had we celebrated Lunar New Year, which was very, very, very exciting. So to all those of you who celebrate Lunar New Year, I know you won't be hearing this until March, but Gong Hei Fa Toi. All right? That means get rich in Chinese, in Cantonese. All right. So this week, friends, we are taking a sharp turn in another direction, and we're going to play one of my very, very favorite games. And uh, it is this is Jeopardy.
Yoo-hoo.
Yep.
Now, there is going to be murder because that's what I
Oh,
bring.
that's true. So here's what we're going to do. Cheryl has murder questions for me, and I was going to do like pop culture or like a little pop culture, a little fashion, but as I started thinking of my questions, I literally only have um fashion questions. That's it.
Are they all
So,
about shoes? Because I'm going to fail.
no. As a matter of fact, well, I mean, there are shoe adjacent, but only one is specifically about shoes.
Okay.
So, anyway, I got to tell ya. So, for those of you out there listening, you can also shout out your answers as you're listening along, and you can find out whether or not you are good at Jeopardy or whether or not you suck ass. So, with no further like messing around, Cheryl, why don't you take the first Jeopardy question?
Oh, okay. I will. In Frederick, Colorado, this douchebag killed his wife, unborn son, who they had named Nico, and their two daughters, stuffing his daughters' bodies into crude oil tanks.
Oh my God. I think we were
Ring
just
the
talking
buzzer.
about um Alex, I have an answer for you. What is
It's Alexandra.
first, yeah, Alexander. His first name was is Chris. His last
Yes.
name is, I confused Scott Peterson and this guy Chris. Is it Chris Evans?
No, that's the actor who plays Mr.
Chris
America or whatever.
Chris
Uh,
Jen
uh,
Chris Watts.
I was gonna give you I was gonna say it has something to do with a light bulb, but
Yeah.
yay! Yeah, remember that
Yeah.
everybody? He killed his wife, their unborn son. She was pregnant with their son Nico and his two daughters. It's a horrible,
God.
horrible story.
I can't
Those
believe I
two,
got that.
the two girls, is what kills me. And he stuffed their little bodies that barely fit into the top of the tanks. He
Okay,
stuffed.
let's not go into detail.
All right,
All
your
right.
turn, Alexandra. Two.
Okay, I'm gonna start with a real low hanging fruit.
Okay.
You will. Okay.
Oh my God, the pressure! If I miss it, I won't. I'll have to hang my head in shame.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. What what color are the soles of Christian Louboutin shoes?
Wait, aren't you supposed to pose it so then I go,
Oh
what
yeah.
is red?
Sorry. The soles of Christian Louboutin shoes are which color?
What is red, Alexandra, for 200? I don't know how they did. I don't watch
Oh my
Jeopardy, but
God, I can't believe you got that. I thought you didn't know anything about shoes.
well, I guess I know a little.
Oh,
It's not from
impressive.
having one of those because aren't they like $5,000 a pair or something ridiculous?
No, but I just no. No,
No,
5,000.
I just
You
know.
are crazy. First of all, they're
4,000,
super
4,000,
stilettos.
3,000.
They're no, they're only like four. You can buy a pair for like $450, $500. They're
Oh,
not
okay.
that
You can
crazy.
buy a pair.
And also the other thing, yeah, I just will say someone who I happen to work for, who shall remain nameless, has a pair. And I will
Oh.
also say that they are the least comfortable shoes that were ever made anywhere on any planet.
Well,
They have literally like the arch is so high, the shoe is so high. I don't know how people walk in them.
it's like you're on point shoes, like
And
in ballet.
and yeah, and Cheryl, I used to wear heels all the time. So it's amazing that I can't walk in these. Anywho.
Well,
Yeah.
sometimes
As a
you have to sometimes you have to sacrifice comfort for fashion, right? So, but
right.
not me, not anymore.
Okay, I'll take it back. I did a quick search on Christian Louboutins. Right now, if you go to their website, you can buy a pair of their brand new bedazzled shoes for $2,995. If you
I
head over
know
to Bergdorf Goodman's, you can buy a pair for $1,395. But if you want to go to Neiman Marcus, they're selling them for a plain black pair for $795.
it. Ooh, a
But
steal.
guys, if you go to the Real Real, which for those of you who like fashion, the Real Real is a website where they take gently used designer products and resell them. They're selling a pair right now for $150.
Oh,
Yep.
that's a bargain.
Isn't that exciting?
Mhm.
All right.
Yeah,
So
I'm gonna run
anyway,
right out and get
all right.
it. All right. Okay. So aren't you supposed to say I'll take murder for 500
Oh,
or something like that?
Alexandra, I'll take mayhem for 1,000, please.
Okay. One of the luckiest former football players was found not guilty of his wife and friend's murder in Brentwood, California. He then went on to spend 9 years in prison for crimes committed in Las Vegas.
Who is OJ Simpson?
Ding, 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 ding.
Yay! I got it. I got it. Girl, I would have had to have been the slowest, like literally the shortest spoon in the drawer if I could not get like
Well,
literally entirely short of fries in my Happy Meal to not know that.
I'm surprised you didn't know who Lizzie Borden was. Hey, you guys, write in and let me know if you knew who Lizzie Borden was. Right off the top of your head, you can't look, you can't cheat. Um, but I was surprised because it's very famous. And remember, there's that riddle that I said to you when Gabe was dancing in the background. Um, anyway, yeah, he is one of the luckiest former football players. So I have to say.
Mm.
Let me tell you, I was obsessed and I still am. If they come out with any special about it, I will watch it. But his trial, I was teaching, I was living in Oregon. I was teaching dance at night. I had my entire day free and I watched every single second of that trial, every single second.
God, shoot
So,
me now.
whew, yeah. Anyway, I think he is one of the luckiest people in the world. All right, Alexandra, 2.
Yes. All right, here we
I'll
go.
take I'll take fashion for a Louis Vuitton shoe.
Louboutin.
Louis
Louboutin. That's
Vuitton
it.
Louis Vuitton shoe
Ah,
for 2,000.
okay. 3 of the biggest fashion capitals of the world. Name them.
What is
What
Paris?
are
Hello?
I said what are
Oh, okay, grammar police. What are Paris, London, and New York?
Eh.
What
You
are
get 2 out of 3.
what are Paris, Los Angeles, and New York? No, it's not
Eh.
Los Angeles.
You got 2 out of 3 again.
What are
What?
Paris, Italy, and New York?
You're
Mm.
you're getting warmer. It's what are Paris, Milan, and New
Oh well,
York.
you got to give me that for Italy.
Dude, that was your 3rd try. Anyway,
Okay,
just so
all
you
right.
know, there are other fashion capitals like London, Los Angeles, Tokyo, Rome, Berlin, Amsterdam, etc. But the 3 leading fashion capitals of the world are New York, Milan,
Paris.
and Paris.
Oh yeah, and I didn't say France, so I guess that's fair. I because I said Paris specifically. So Paris,
Not
Milan.
bad.
Okay.
You're doing,
All right.
you're doing pretty good for somebody who like claims to not know anything about fashion.
Well, same here for someone who doesn't follow murder.
I know. So
I
far,
also
I've gotten all of them right, and you've gotten all of them almost right.
well, I picked the ones that everyone should know because if I do an obscure one, how fun is that? Okay.
Right, like Lizzie Borden.
Mhm. Well, I think most people know it. Write in, everybody. Let me know.
Yeah, tell us how much you
Just
know about Lizzie Borden.
tell Joy that you knew about it, and she's the only one that didn't know who Lizzie Borden was. Okay. All right.
Okay. Alexandra, I'll take murder for 2,000, please.
Moniker of the serial killer who committed 13 murders, 51 rapes, and 120 burglaries across California between 1974 and 1986. He was finally caught at age 72 using DNA technology.
Who was the Hillside Strangler? The Night Stalker. The Night Stalker. The Golden State Killer.
Yep. Ding, 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 ding. But you took
Oh,
4 tries.
okay. Whatever happened to the Night Stalker and the Hillside Strangler?
Well, the Night Stalker was in prison, and I think he died. I don't think I mean, I know I don't know. He scared me. And you lived in California during that time, right? The Night
Yeah, but
Stalker?
I didn't live in his area.
I didn't care if he lived in my area. I was in the state and I know he moves around. So that was the freaking scariest thing. Like, that's when, okay, remember I bagged on that lady in uh the mother of Jan Broberg about her saying it's a type of neighborhood where you never lock your doors. Because I'm like, where
Oh
is
yeah.
that? But I will have to say that people sleep with their windows open if it's hot, or you not want a nice cool breeze. Well, the Night Stalker killed that because he would come in through the windows and everybody was scared to death and would never open their windows again. But anyway, you got it. The Golden State Killer. They use like familial DNA or something. They're catching a lot of people using this DNA technology.
Huh.
So it's impossible to commit a crime. So don't commit crimes, guys.
I don't know about impossible.
Well, it's
I
very
mean,
hard.
I see people speeding all the time. That's a crime.
Well, oh, don't even get me started. Alexandra, too. I'll take Fashion for $20.
All right. All right. um, the name of three famous Italian designers.
What are Gucci? I don't. Gucci.
Oh God.
Versace. Gucci, Versace, and Prada is French.
Ding, 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 ding.
Oh my
Wow,
God! I did
Cheryl.
it!
I
Oh my God!
cannot
Oh my
believe. Oh my
God! You
God.
are
Hats
you
off to you. Listen, Gucci, Prada, Versace, Dolce& and Gabbana, Armani, Valentino, Cavalli, Schiaparelli. I can't believe you
see?
got the top three on my list.
Wow. See, everyone? Did you
Wow,
hear
you're
her
all
snickering?
you
You started snickering like I
you,
wasn't gonna get it.
you did it, girl. You pulled it out. I gotta
You
tell
want
you, I'm
you want to hear
impressed.
something funny? Do you want to hear
What?
something funny? I pulled them from movies because there's the House of Gucci. There's
Mm-hmm. The Devil
there's
Wears
that there
Prada.
the Devil Wears Prada, and then there was the docu movie thing on Gianni Versace's
Gianni Versace.
murder.
But remember
Yeah.
in the movie Showgirls, the girl like wears this dress to a party, and the girl, these like models come up, and they're like, "Oh, you look so nice, la la la," and she goes, "Oh, thanks, it's Versace," and the
Oh,
girl like snickers
no,
at
I
her
don't.
face, and she goes, "It's Versace," and she goes, and somebody says it's not Versace, it's Versace. Like, what are you like from under a rock? And so she realizes that the reason the models were making fun of her was because she didn't know how to pronounce Versace. And I was like,
Aw.
and I remember seeing that movie, and that's the only thing that I remembered from it because it was such a stinker. But anyway, um, yes, I just want you to know that, like, while each one of these fashion houses is renowned for something different, like one is clean lines, another is bold colors, another is like fabric, blah, 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 blah. They all have such beautiful, like musical sounding names. I
Yeah,
like
yeah.
The French houses of fashion as well, but they're just not as like, Dolce and Gabbana. It sounds like an ice cream, right? It doesn't
Yeah.
sound like, some like they'd make sunglasses or shoes or purses or whatever. So I just think that the names are so lovely. And also for anyone listening, I have a Gucci purse I'm trying to sell. So there.
Oh gosh.
Alexandra Trebek is trying to sell Gucci purse. If you're interested, contact me at Murder and Everything Else.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna get someone to email us if it kills me. Anyway. All right. So, Alexandra
Me.
Jr., next question, please.
Okay. Her roommate was viciously murdered in Italy. She and her Italian boyfriend were arrested and found guilty, but after 4 years, she was released and came home to the United States due to shoddy police work and prosecutorial misconduct.
Who was Amanda Knox?
Correct. Ding, ding, ding,
Yay! I
ding.
was gonna say Natalie. Wasn't there? Oh, I was gonna say Natalie Holloway, but then I realized we did an episode, an episode on her.
And she was the
Sorry.
victim.
All
She
right.
was the one
I'm not
that was
laughing at her. I'm laughing at the fact that we
at
did an
you.
episode and I can't remember already.
No, this was Foxy Noxy. I couldn't put that because that was too much of a giveaway. Remember her moniker was Foxy Noxy. They
I
all like,
I never heard that. And
what?
also,
Okay.
I didn't know that, but remember, she also now advocates. She started like an organization that helps people who've been wrongly convicted or whatever. And isn't that what it is? And then she advocates on
Yeah, I
behalf
think
of
so.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
think it's really
we,
fascinating. And we're probably gonna have to do an episode on her because they're trying to reopen that case.
I, they have been for a while. I write in, you guys, if you know this story, if you know what happened and what you think, because I will tell you from the very beginning, I always felt that she was not guilty because they just didn't have the evidence. I just couldn't see. People were up in arms because when after her body was discovered and the police came, she was standing outside the house with her boyfriend he was holding her, and she looked up at him and he gave her a little peck on the lips, and the media was like, look at this. And because she was attractive, they coined her Foxy Noxy, and they were like, oh, Foxy Noxy makes out with her boyfriend. It was like, no, he was just holding her, and then she looked up at him and gave him a little kiss. It wasn't like they were making out at her roommate's murder site. um yeah, I just felt like they didn't have the evidence, and I just didn't believe
Yeah.
it. So anyway, we're gonna have to do something on that.
But I believe that she works on like some innocence project or something where
Yeah, I think so.
she has devoted herself to writing and activism for the wrongly accused. Here's
Hmm.
the thing, and I'm so interested in people who do this kind of work because how do you know they're wrongly accused? I mean, let's face it. Meredith Kirchner, I think, is the name of the girl that was murdered, brutally murdered
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
apartment in Italy, her roommate. I'm sure her parents or who, whatever, the Italian police or whatever, people who like, try to prosecute her because they've tried to prosecute her. She's, I think, twice now that she has faced, a trial or whatever. And so it's like somebody somewhere thinks she's guilty. So I
I
understand the Innocence
you,
Project, but like even those people who get out 35 years later because they find some DNA or something, somebody thought they were guilty enough to put them behind bars.
yeah, yeah. I I think that part of it is that the Italian um lawyers or the legal team or Italy in general. No, no, no shade to you guys. Listen to our podcast and subscribe, please. But I think they were embarrassed. I think part of it was embarrassment, that she was let free after all of that. And I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't know. Don't come for me, but we'll have to do a deeper dive
That's,
into that. Yeah.
that's right. Stand by for that. Okay, listeners?
Okay, Alexandra the third. I'll take fashion for $250.
Okay. Name of the famous American fashion designer and handbag designer, most specifically, who died of suicide in her New York City apartment on June 5th, 2018, at the age of 55.
Who is Kate Spade? That is
I
so
can't
sad.
believe you know that. You said you didn't know anything about fashion.
But I know things about like crimes and murders and death.
It's true. Wow, good job, Cheryl. It was really sad. So, guys,
It was
obviously,
very sad.
like depression is a serious thing. And so, like, not to make light of, um, depression, um, or people who suffer from depression or mental illness. But there is a 24/7 helpline. So if you are suffering from depression, please, you should call or text 988 or chat 988lifeline.org. Um, and you can connect with a trained crisis counselor from the crisis text line. You can also call 911 or go to the nearest emergency room. But it was super, super sad. Come to find out, you'd think that somebody who was like at the top of their game had this amazing like fashion line. I mean, her purses and shoes and clothes like fly off the shelves. Kate Spade is such a, like a household name. She has household items, plates, and you can buy pens and tchotchkes and whatever. You would just never think that somebody it doesn't occur to people ever your average person to think that somebody like that would suffer from debilitating depression that would
Depression.
cause
Yeah,
them
you
to
think,
take
oh,
their
they
life.
have everything. Yeah, you think they have everything. But there was some conspiracy, there's always a conspiracy theory after everything, right? Like with Kurt Cobain, people, there's, there's a large group of people that don't believe he committed suicide. Chris Cornell, the lead singer from Audio Slave and Soundgarden, there's a conspiracy that he did not commit suicide, that he was murdered. And initially I heard something about Kate Spade, but um, that kind of faded in the background. But a lot of these suicides that I hear that there's conspiracy theories is that they were about to expose like people really high up in about things related to like human trafficking and stuff. Because
Oh my.
in the entertainment business, there's a huge connection to human trafficking. But
Huh.
anyway, my topics are just so lovely, aren't they? Oh
They
no, that was
are.
your topic. That was yours. That wasn't mine.
I'm gonna just blame you. Anyway,
Okay,
isn't that interesting that I was able to find something to do with suicide in fashion? So you know
fashion.
what? Cheryl's not the only one who brings the mayhem. All right,
Well,
Alexandra, I want my
Versace
next
too.
question.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh yeah, that's
I'm ready.
right. Gianni Versace was brutally murdered. I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm. I'm rubbing off on her.
But
Okay.
also, let's face it, like the guy was filthy, filthy rich. I think also like like when we talked about winning the lottery, when you have that much money and that much fame and notoriety, I think sometimes it comes with at a heavy, heavy price.
Oh yeah, like John Lennon. Yeah, people are. Yeah, yeah.
And people fixate on it.
Oh yes. Okay. All right. You're the
All right.
contestant.
All right. Next question, please.
Okay. This city is where the murders of Abby Williams and Libby German took place. They were 13 and 14. The recorded voice of the killer saying, "Down the hill," is a critical piece of evidence in this case. Suspect Richard Allen is currently in jail awaiting trial. The city.
Huh. Well, it's got to be somewhere in either Texas or Florida. Swear to
Nope.
God. I have no idea, Alexandra.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a hint. Um, let's see, where is okay, it happened in the Delphi. It happened on the trails, and they were on these like it was like a bridge, and the two
Oh,
girls.
Utah, Utah,
No, it's a
Arizona,
city.
New Mexico,
This
France,
city. This city is where the murders. Okay, I'm gonna give you the state.
Salt Lake City,
Indi- Indiana.
China.
It's in Indiana. I'm asking for the city name. Okay, let me give you a hint.
Gary, Indiana, Gary,
Indiana,
Indiana,
Gary, Indiana. Okay,
Indianapolis,
it rhymes with Melfi. It's
Rothside,
it
Carthage,
it sounds it rhymes with Melfi, and the first letter is
Alphi,
the
Alphi,
first
Alphi,
oh
I
my
don't
god.
know,
Okay,
Sulphi,
this is a big fail, but
Sulphi.
it's it's Delphi, the Delphi murders. Okay, let's get
I've
serious for a
never
second
even
because
heard
these
of that.
two girls, yeah, so these two girls were murdered, and a big piece of the evidence is one of the girls had the force, what do you call it? The something of mind.
Wherewithal, the
Yeah, she
presence
had
of
the
mind.
wherewithal, presence of mind to hit record on her phone. Can you
What?
believe it? These young girls, 13 and
Why?
14, one of them hit
Why?
record. So there is actually footage of this guy, kind of burly with a hat. His head is kind of down and he's walking towards them and he says, "Down the hill." So if you look up, you'll see documentaries called Down the Hill. I mean, the authorities put the recording out and they said, if this voice sounds familiar to you, please call, the law enforcement and help us with tips and whatnot. And so this one guy, Richard Allen, has been arrested. So it's going to be interesting to see his trial. I'd like to see what the evidence is. He does not, I know this is not going to be appreciated by some people, but he does, you know how Brian Koberger, when you look at him, you're like, yeesh, okay, he could have done it. And I
Right.
know that it's not all about looks, but Richard Allen, like I'm going to have to listen to the evidence because he, and other people have said too, I have to see the evidence because he seems really frightened and like just clueless. Like if you saw a side by side of him and Brian Koberg, it would be like night and day. But anyway, there is someone awaiting trial for the two girls' murder. So
Interesting.
now you know the Delphi murders. That's a big one in the crime world.
Okay. Well, I'm going to keep that in mind because I know it's going to pop back up again.
Yep.
All
Okay,
right.
Alexandra, I will take fashion for $20,000.
Okay. The name of the oldest French fashion house and luxury brand in the world that is still operating today and that was founded in 1837.
The House of Coco. What is the House of Coco Chanel? I don't know. What is
Eh.
um say it again. Say it again?
The name of the oldest French fashion house and luxury brand in the world that's still operating today and that was founded in 1837.
Uh you gotta give me a hint.
Um, it was there was an
Sounds like okay,
entire
what?
episode in Sex in the City about this.
No, Jesus, I didn't want to.
Okay, they're famous for a bag that was named after the late British actress and singer. Come
The
on.
late British actress.
The name of
British
the name of the bag is starts with the same letter as the word bag.
Balenciaga.
No, it's French.
Boudoir.
It it was
Bonbon, 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 bonbon.
I'll tell you, the bag was the Birkin bag. Now you know who it is.
No freaking clue.
Hermes. The answer is who is Hermes? The
Oh,
Hermes
there's no
Birkin bag
way.
is one of the
I
most sought after and prestigious bags globally, known for timeless design, exceptional craftsmanship, and exclusivity. There's a wait list for Birkin bags. You can't walk into a store and buy one. And just so you know the price, if you go to Fashion File, which is also a website where they resell, there is a $30,000 Birkin bag on Fashion File for sale. There's a $92,000 Hermes alligator Birkin bag that is for sale on Fashion File. On Farfetched, there's a $120,000 Birkin bag right now for sale. On eBay, there's a $12,000 Birkin bag, which is probably fake. And on Rebag, there's an $11,000. Okay, maybe the eBay one isn't fake. But anyway, it's the most exclusive and expensive bag that's on the market.
Well, you could have spelled it for me as a clue, and I wouldn't have known how to pronounce it. So,
Hermes. It's spelled Hermes.
oh
I remember, Cheryl, they made those scarves that were those silk scarves that were so like iconic in like the 80s and the 90s.
no,
That had like the chain, like it was just such like a French woman's accessory. So beautiful, so luxurious.
no, I don't remember.
Okay. Well,
Okay. On that note, we're
I
getting down
just
to our
want to say,
last two.
for those of you who love fashion, head over to Sex in the City and look up the episode on the Birkin. It features Lucy Liu, who has a cameo, and it's how Samantha wanted to get her hands on a Birkin. So it's great.
Got it. Noted. Okay, we are down to our last two questions.
All right.
Okay, your turn. I mean, it's your turn to.
Okay, Alexandra, take it away. Let's have
Okay.
murder for 65 million.
Woohoo! This 6-year-old child beauty queen was murdered on Christmas Eve in Boulder, Colorado. Her murder remains unsolved and is one of the most infamous child murders in the U.S.
Who
God,
was who was Jean-Benet Ramsey?
ding, 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 ding.
Yes, girl.
And
Yes.
I wonder if they're ever going to solve it. It's just so tragic. Did you follow it at all? Do you know anything about it?
No, all I know is that like they kept plastering. Okay, all I know is that that was the first time that I ever found out about child beauty pageant, like younger than like, late teens, early 20 beauty pageants. I had no idea that
Oh, that they
such
have kids ones?
that such a beast existed. So that I found extremely disturbing.
It
Number
is.
two, the fact that they said that she was obsessed with the pageants and she would beg her mother to be in them. Um,
Can I
I
quote you? Can I quote one of your famous lines or
yeah,
infamous lines? I don't believe that for a second.
I don't believe
Because
that
her
for a second.
because her
I really,
mother
really
was a
don't.
former beauty queen. So
Yeah.
I highly doubt. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, I just have such a hard time believing that but I don't know because I will say like you've said that all you wanted to do was dance and your mom supported you as much as she possibly could in every aspect of your dancing, so much so that like you did things to allow yourself the ability to like go further in your career as a dancer, like finishing high school
Yeah, but
early and
y-
moving across country and yada yada yada. So I
well,
but
hmm.
again, you weren't 6 years old.
Yeah, but you know what? I was about to say, yeah, but I wasn't wearing makeup and prancing around in these skimpy outfits. But you know what? Sometimes when you are on stage, because I did like when I was a kid, I did recitals from our dance studio, and you do
Right.
wear makeup on stage. It's part of the thing. It's part of theater. It's part of So, God, now that I'm saying that, I don't know. Because
Yeah,
they did have a talent portion of these beauty pageants. So it
right.
wasn't all about prancing around in these outfits. I don't know. I mean, how do you feel about adult beauty pageants?
I mean, at least, you're an adult and you know as you're getting into it what's involved. Because they
Mm-hmm.
even have Mrs. pageants for women who've already like, had kids and stuff, who are in their
Yeah.
30s and 40s. So I mean, I don't know, like if that's your if that's what you really really want, um and you are really uh passionate about it, then go for it. But I mean, I feel like a lot of those ladies are like starving. I don't know. Maybe they're not starving themselves. Maybe they just happen to be like, maybe you can really see like 6 inches of air between their thighs. I don't know. I've never been that kind of girl. So,
It's called the thigh gap. The thigh gap. It's very, very sought after in the well, it used to be, but now, curvier bodies are accepted. But the thigh gap was what you wanted to have when you were like, back in the day when they wanted them
right,
emaciated. But getting back to a 6-year-old doing these pageants, it is a little bit disturbing, because there is some thought that somebody saw her at these pageants, saw John Bonet, and was stalking her. But you know that there was a theory that the parents were involved. That was a huge
right,
theory, that the parents were somehow involved.
right.
Um, anyway, but her mother died. John Bonet's mother died, and anyway, and the father moved on and married someone, and I don't know. I just feel like it's just sad if it goes down forever, never being solved. But you just never know. Crimes are solved 40 years later. It's incredible. So there's still
It's
hope.
true.
Yeah. All right. So our last question, Alexandra, please give me something in fashion for $20 billion.
Okay. And the last question is, the fashion brand Chanel is named for what woman?
Who is Chanel? Coco Chanel. Who is Coco Chanel?
Ding, 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 ding. Wow, you got it. I can't
Well,
believe it.
Chanel is part of her name, so you gave me half of it.
So impressed.
No, you know what it is? I was determined. I was bound and determined to have Coco Chanel somewhere in there because I used it two questions ago.
So
I was very
impressive.
Hey, you know what? We both did really well. I think
Yeah.
we both did really well for not knowing that much of the other's topic.
Yeah, I think you know a lot more than you claim to know.
It's just, and like I was only pretending I couldn't read. I like to
I
I
know,
like to keep
I know,
I like
right?
to keep expectations low. That way,
You're so funny. You,
never a
you guys, she
disappointment.
did really well, and she said from the very beginning that she didn't know anything about fashion. But you all heard she held her own. So there. So I none of this like I don't know anything about fashion stuff. Okay?
All right.
Very, very
Noted.
good, Cheryl. I'm very proud of you
You did
and
great too.
proud of myself. So
How
let's
did you guys do?
all
How
hug it
did you
out.
guys do? Yeah, how did you guys do? Did you know all the answers? Let us know.
You know what is a crime?
What's that, Joy?
That we are out of time.
That is a crime. Well, thank you for listening, everyone, and don't complicate your day. All creativity, commentary, and opinions in this podcast belong to Cheryl and Joy. Music composed and mixed by Gabe McKeon. Logo and merch created and managed by Kevin Callan. Podcast editing and advertising by Joy McKeon. Legal representation provided by John Bojezek. Please like, subscribe, follow, and listen. You can listen to us on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. And remember, you can find us on Instagram and YouTube, and you can email us at murderandeverythingelse@gmail.com.
Bye, fishes.